Welcome to Sack to the Future Week 2 as rebound coming off their disastrous loss to the New York Titans in Week 1. They head down south to Charlotte, North Carolina to face a non-NFL team, or as we've been referring to them as a semi-pro team, for lack of a better term, in the Carolina Panthers. Now, if you've been following along, you know that the Carolina Panthers are a non-NFL team because it is 1960, and we are following the actual roster moves and all that from 1960. Speaking of roster moves, thanks to a website, Sports Transactions, excuse me, I don't know the exact name. I'm following the sports transactions for the NFL. For non-user controlled teams, we've given the best looking roster for that season. However, for any teams that are in the AFL or NFL at the time, we're following the day-by-day roster transactions. And following the Week 1 game for Buffalo, in which they lost to the Titans 27-3 in real life, they made a move. They cut their center, Sam Palumbo. Excuse me. Sam Palumbo. So I've effectively had to cut my starting center, because again, we have no control over our roster. We have to do what the actual happened. So I have one center in Larry McGrew and no backup. The backup would be a guard or a tackle. But that's what Buffalo did. Buster Ramsey, head coach, did in 1960. So I now am stuck without Sam Palumbo. Now let's see how these Panthers are rated. First of all, they're supposed to, all the non-NFL teams have been downrated. Joe Webb is the starting quarterback. Now, he is at least an actual former NFL quarterback. If you saw the Bears-Falcons game, the Alex Torgerson, who started the game, got hurt, and Mohamed Sanu came off the bench to play quarterback. Cade Davis with the run. Niall Davis. First tackle by Chuck McMurtry, the 1960 All-Pro. Taking a look at the Buffalo Bills' actual 1960 season, in Week 2, they had the first ever home game. It's a little opposite of what we had in this schedule. I don't have the 4-3. I picked the wrong defensive playbook. Well, hopefully it doesn't hurt. Come back to bite me. They hosted the Denver Broncos and would lose 27-21. Denver would go 2-0, and as you know, if you followed their game earlier against Dallas, they are indeed 2-0. Now, in this reality, Buffalo's coming off a 31-17 loss to the New York Titans as we get ready for this matchup against semi-pro Carolina Panthers. Now, it's not unusual in NFL history that teams did play out-of-league games. In the early 1920s, they did just that. They scheduled their own games against non-NFL opponents. They counted in the standings. The only difference being in this one is that these non-NFL opponents are going to be the same at this point, 11 teams, week in, week out, and have a chance at winning the Super Bowl just as much as we do. Alright, let's see if the Bills' offense can improve upon their lackluster Week 1 performance. The former Cleveland Brown quarterback Tommy O'Connell comes out. 2 touchdowns last week, but 3 interceptions. No running game whatsoever. Well, not much of a start. Ray Carlton. So Dan McGrew gets to start at center now, replacing Sam. Ray Carlton, your tailback. Wilmer Fowler at the other half. Brian Cox. Interesting. Well, we're going to bust through it at some point and get a running game going, but until then we'll just have to keep plugging. Did he hold on? No. That's getting ridiculous. The Bills drops this week 1 and now going into week 2 have just been phenomenally bad. Webb overthrows his man. He's dressed like a wide receiver too. Oh, Matt Khalil still is around. Al Davis, Russell Shepard. Rated some of these teams for talent when we were doing the rosters. So the goal is to get Mac Yoho a tackle. Interesting. Instead, 56 Archie Matsos, another All-Pro. Chuck McMurtry. They give you the 4-3 even though we don't have a 4-3. Jack Laraway had a big week 1. And for some reason, just a random guy standing in secondary. Richie McCabe on the interception. The 5th-year player, former Pittsburgh Steeler at the University of Pitt, Richie McCabe, the ball was thrown right to him. Man, I cannot get a running game going at all. No. Chamberlain. O'Connell completes the pass for 15 yards to Dan Chamberlain. There we go. We got a first down at least. 3 rushes, 4 yards. What makes a weak offensive line weaker? Let's cut the center. Oh, some fancy move out of Carlton that time. Picks up 7 yards. 8 yards. Now let's see what the drive goal is. Five rushes, 15 yards. First and goal for the Bills. Carlton running out of the full house. As closest as we got to Power Eye or Wishbone. Backside. No blocking on the backside. Slow developing play. Counters are slow for the Bills. And a touchdown pass to number 35, Carl Smith, the rookie out of Tennessee. Daryl Harper is able to put the points through. Let's take a look at the original Week 2 game against Denver while we're at it. Take a look at the box score. Buffalo get their first touchdown in this game. 1 yard out to lead Denver 7-0. We'll play Denver in Week 3. Of course, Denver controlled by MAF on the Phantom Fighter channel. Gene Mingo then kicked a 31-yard field goal to cut the Bills' lead to 7-3. Then Mingo, still in the second quarter, kicked a 27-yard field goal, cut the Bills' lead to 7-6. Albert DeBenion then caught a 57-yard pass from Tommy O'Connell, and the Bills went up 13-6. In the third quarter, J.W. Broadnax got an 8-yard pass from Frank Chapuka. Gene Mingo hit the extra point, tied the game at 13. Then Dave Roll for the Broncos got a 2-yard pass from Frank Chapuka. Gene Mingo hit the extra point, and the Broncos led 20-13. Albert DeBenion then caught a 40-yard pass from Tommy O'Connell, but the 2-point conversion, which the AFL had, was unsuccessful, and the Bills took a 21-20 lead. Oh, the 2-point conversion run was successful. I'm sorry, I apologize. Was successful. The Bills went up 21-20. Doesn't say who scored it, though. Here's the pass from O'Connell to Smith. Then, in the fourth quarter, Johnny Payette took an interception 40 yards to the house. Gene Mingo added the extra point. Denver got the 27-21 win. Alright, so it's 2nd and 6. They only have one roster open, obviously, because there's no need for 35 years to even open a Carolina roster. It's 3rd and 4. Joe Webb picks up the rush. First down. That's Carolina's initial first down with an 18-yard run. The Bills were tangled and twisted up and couldn't get free. Oh. Bills with it. If you're just joining us, Bills with a 7-0 lead here in the second quarter, thanks to an interception by Richie McCabe, and then the touchdown pass from Tommy O'Connell to Ted Smith. Carl Smith. We've been talking about how I have been talking about how we are following actual roster moves, and Buffalo had one. We cut our starting center because Buster Ramsey in 1960 thought it was a good idea to cut Sam Palumbo. So Buffalo's running game is even worse now, if it's possible. Mac Yoho out in zone coverage, steps up to make the tackle, and on Dixon, and it's 4th and 11. Playing against this futuristic semi-pro looking team in the Carolina Panthers with their futuristic equipment. Here comes Tommy O'Connell coming off his touchdown pass to Smith. Still trying to get a running game going. Oh, that was a hop, skip, and a jump there, run by Carlton. Picks up 3 yards. Oops. The Bills receivers, and this one the tight end Reichlich, cannot hold on to the pass. We've been suffering that all season long so far. Already we've had several passes in the hands to Benyon, who is a standout. Dropped an easy first down on the first drive. Too many coverage, too much coverage. Billy Atkins will punt. Oh, tried to pull him off. Let me get the ball about the 48 now, I think. .46. Well, we got a really good field position now. Mac Yoho standing up, the running back. time. 67, Joe Schaefer on the tackle. Just recap already. Week 1 wrapped up earlier this morning as the Houston Oilers playing, excuse me, Tennessee beat the Oakland Raiders 35-14. We advanced to week 2, and right off the bat we had our human versus human game. As the Denver Broncos knocked off the Dallas Cowboys in the marquee matchup of week 2, 13-7. If not for an interception early on when Dallas was driving, that game might have been much, much different. Then the Cleveland Browns were all over the semi-pro Baltimore Ravens as Jim Brown had 5 touchdowns. According to the statistics. I think he actually had 4, but the EA glitch counted one that was called back. This is the 3rd game, the 4th teams of week 2, Buffalo and Carolina. Still to come, the Chicago Bears take on the semi-pro Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not sure when that game will be. Tomorrow evening, the Baltimore Colts return home inside a dome in Indianapolis to take on the St. Louis Cardinals in their first season in St. Louis. And on Thursday night, both the New York Giants taking on the Detroit Lions. Oh, let me backtrack a little bit and give you the channel updates. The Bears game against the Buccaneers will be on Phantom Fighter. Replace the G with a 6 in Fighter. Make sure you subscribe. The Colts-Cardinals game will be on Twisted Phoenix, which is my other channel. Actually, my wife's channel, but all the content I put on there. Finally, DeBenyon, showing the superstar that he will become, gets a completion. Then the Thursday night, the Giants, thank you, Mr. Feltz. The Giants take on the Detroit Lions, and the Houston Oilers will face the expansion or the futuristic Jacksonville Jaguars, both on the channel John M. Still got all 3 timeouts, 1:08 to go. O'Connell's have over the middle of the Chamberlain. I'm going to go ahead and call a timeout there as number 83, Bob Barrett, who only played in 2 games for the Bills in 1960, gets the reception and moves the drive along. Buffalo going into spreading him out, AFL style offense right now. And it's not on the field for this. There is the completion to number 80, Monty Crockett, the rookie out of New Mexico Highlands. Reichlich on the reception, and we're going to call timeout. So 1 timeout remaining, so 23 seconds to go. All right. Over the middle to Crockett for the touchdown. First receiving touchdown for the rookie out of New Mexico Highlands, Monty Crockett. They are some very Carolina blue looking, like maybe a little darker than Carolina blue, those uniforms. And Daryl Harper, ooh, squeezes the X-point in. Now Carolina received the opening kick, so Buffalo's got to withstand 20 seconds here. High kick into the bright Carolina sun. Taken by an upback, number 54, Thompson. Joe Webb, the Carolina quarterback. Why do I run away when you switch to a guy? That's something EA should work on for the next. Should be a smoother flow. I think that's Carolina's second first down so far. Got the juke move going there. Oh, they're going for a field goal. Let's drop Richie McCabe back in single safety. That'll send us to halftime with the Buffalo Bills leading this Carolina team 14-0. I tell you, it hasn't been easy. This Buffalo team is definitely not suited for my style of play. They will be built into it, though. I have to say that. Throughout the 60s, some of the fantastic runners, of course, Ray Carlton's going to continue to improve. Eventually, Cookie Gilchrist coming down from Canada. And of course, in 1969, O.J. Simpson. Carolina offense has been under assault from the Bills' front line. There's Joe Schaefer on the sack. Tommy O'Connell finds Monty Crockett for the second touchdown. Carl Smith caught the first one. And it's 14-0. Next week, of course, the big showdown in week 3, human versus human. Buffalo and Denver, as Denver comes to the Ralph to take on the Bills and those god-awful brown and yellow uniforms. Now, you know, funny thing about the uniforms, as I'm saying, not all of our teams are able to use accurate uniforms. Buffalo's 1960-61 uniforms looked more like the Detroit Lions with the numbers on the helmets. The Oakland Raiders were black and gold in 60 and 61. There's a completion of Wilmer Fowler, who picks up the first down. O'Connell so far 9 of 13. The former Cleveland Brown quarterback, who was Otto Graham's understudy. Cleveland, however, deciding to go with Milt Plum, casting O'Connell free to sign with the AFL. Fowler picking up 3 yards on his first carry. Yeah, O'Connell showing some of that old Cleveland magic. He learned from Paul Brown and Otto Graham. actually wears Autogram's number here in Buffalo. His second number. Of course, Autogram originally wore number 60, but in the early 50s, the NFL adopted a numbering system that would outlaw guys like Marion Motley, who wore 76. Autogram wore 60 for wearing those what would become known as ineligible numbers. And Cleveland had a whole bunch of guys that had to change their numbers. I think it was around 53 or 54. Oh, Al Hoisington drops the ball. It was right in his hands. Unfortunate. It'll bring up a fourth down. O'Connell couldn't have put it any better than that. We're going to try a little figuration. It's probably going to backfire on me and allow Carolina to score, but... Oh! Actually had some speed from Carl Smith, too. Cam Newton making the tackle on defense. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Cam Newton playing defense. No, that was a gamble. Let's see if it is a mistake. Oh, Gallagher drops the interception. Not sure where the normal corner is, Billy Kennard, but Gallagher's back there. He was one of those guys that did not make the actual team in 1960 roster filler, but somehow is getting a lot of playing time. Free rush on the quarterback, gets the screen pass off, and Joe Schaefer is able to break it up. Joe Schaefer having a monster game at the linebacker spot. I don't know. This Ron Rivera cat, he put Cam Newton on special teams, and Newton makes the big play. Billy Atkins with the interception. Oh, and the kicker. Billy Atkins, also the Bills punter. Big play off the tip. Ray Carlton at the 30-yard threshold now. After Buffalo gambled on fourth down and faked the punt. Monty Crockett having a huge game for the Bills. Oh, it is intercepted. Intercepted. O'Connell was going for it all. But Carolina's now got the ball down on the 3. Right up the middle. There's a weakness in the engage 8. It's right up the middle. Now Davis has 24 yards carrying. Billy Atkins, who had the interception in the last play, in on the tackle. Buffalo with a couple of all-pros on their defense, and Laverne Torson, the right end, making the stop, forcing a third down for the Panthers. And Carolina's able to get the first down. Joe Webb, 5 of 11, 32 yards. Carolina trailing 14-0. Torson again, this time Artis Payne tackling him from behind after a 2-yard gain. Again, I selected the 46 defense for the game, and there's no 4-3 in that, so just oh no, let's see, is it 75? Incomplete. Broken up by Gallagher. Tried to cross us up with a draw. Oh, Fuzzy Whitaker, Forrest Whitaker. No, not Forrest Whitaker. Fuzzy Whitaker? Forrest Whitaker would be kind of weird. Yes, Browns did look unstoppable. Jim Brown saw some running from Bobby Mitchell, too. That's the end of 3. Buffalo and their horrible, horrible offense leading 14-0 over Carolina. But they're about to get the ball back. Actually, now it's 4th down, 4th quarter. Maybe Carolina goes for this. Yep, they're gonna. Fourth and 6. Come on, step up, get him. Oh, he juked himself right out of bounds. Buffalo takes over. Lucky break for the Bills defense. Joe Webb, who actually played for the Bills in 2017 as a receiver. Oh, gets out of one tackle and then gets leveled. Ray Carlton now 10 rushes, 31 yards. Ray Carlton is the starting running back. That's Ray with a W, W-R-A-Y. He is a rookie out of Duke, also drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles. Makes me wonder if he wished he'd gone to the Eagles after that first season. He becomes a big name in Buffalo, though. Mostly as a fullback. Wilmer Fowler is also on the Bills roster. He's another good running back. Carlton cutting through for 3 yards. Brings up a 3rd down and 7. Just going to let the clock run. Going to play Buffalo offense. Mary Carlton is definitely going to get the play calls right now. We might dash in a little Carl Smith and maybe a little Wilmer Fowler, but Ray Carlton is going to be the lead back. Wilmer Fowler getting through for the 1st down. Wilmer Fowler, the rookie out of Northwestern, again, also drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles. Fowler and Carlton both could have been Eagles, but then who knows if they'd have even made the team. I mean, Benny Barnes was the Eagles' leading rusher in 1960, and I don't know as if either one of these rookies would have unseated him, so it might have been their best bet to go to Buffalo. Of course, in about 55 years, Buffalo will pick up another running back from Philadelphia by the name of LaShawn McCoy. Shady. Just a little glimpse into the crystal ball, if you will. Quote Dusty Rhodes, if you will. A little Carl Smith, who caught the touchdown pass, also ran the fake punt, picks up a yard. Carl Smith, the rookie out of Tennessee. Shady Mike. A lot of good Buffalo running backs coming in the future, from Cookie Gilchrist to O.J. Simpson, Thurman Thomas, Kenneth Davis, Marshawn Lynch, Ray Carlton. Imagine Chris Bermanell, boom, 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 boom. Nobody circles the wagons like Ray Carlton and the Buffalo Bills. Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. Thirteen rushes now, 57 yards for Carlton, and it's the 2nd and goal. With a little pitch, cuts it inside, runs over a couple of these Carolina blue-clad Panthers. O'Connell taking his time, looking over that Panther defense. Oh! Real quick, while we're waiting here, I'd like to thank everybody for watching and commenting. Coming up on Sack to the Future tomorrow night, the Baltimore Colts taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. The Chicago Bears will play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a semi-pro Buccaneer team. Then on Thursday, the New York Giants versus the Detroit Lions. Will Earl Morrall play for the Lions, or will Jim Nanowski? Oop, I took too long. I wasn't paying attention. And then the Houston Oilers battled the Jacksonville Jaguars. I wasn't paying attention. I was busy promoting my stuff. The Bears game you can find on Phantom Fighter channel, the Colts game on Twisted Phoenix, and the Giants and Oilers on John M. Brian Phelps, both his games are in the books. Cleveland gets a blowout victory. Dallas falls to Denver. Boom, boom, Wilmer Fowler getting rocked. And that'll send on Daryl Harper to attempt a 23-yard field goal in this win. And the Bills take a 17 lead, and they run about 5 minutes off the clock on that drive. Let's see exactly what it was. Well, I don't think they're going to give us the chart. Sad I couldn't finish off with Ray Carlton. Drive goal complete. No interceptions thrown. Of course, Connell had one interception, 3 against the Titans, and one tonight against the Panthers. Atkins with a kick. Jim Wagstaff with safety down to make the tackle, along with number 54, Ted Wiegert. No, Joe Hergert. Sorry, Joe Hergert. Ted Wiegert is number 33. Had the wrong guy. I saw the Gert and had the wrong guy. Let's see if we can maintain the shutout. This is when EA Sports loves to. Jack Laraway getting a sack. When EA Sports loves to give the computer superhuman powers. Keeps him in bounds and forces him to burn a timeout. Oh, just off the fingertips. Joe Webb, 6 of 14, 44 yards, 2 interceptions thrown. And they got no choice but to go for it on 4th down. And I guarantee you one thing, no matter what Carolina does, Tommy O'Connell will not throw another pass today. Whether I stop him here, which it doesn't look good. Oh, I'm just glad they couldn't catch. They got 2 timeouts still, so we gotta run the ball and force them to burn them. Hopefully get a first down. There's one first down. 67 yards. It's turned into a decent running game. He's got 106 on the year now. Just letting things come to him. Pretty big looking tailback too. Let's see what he is. He's 6'2", 225. Definitely fullback size. Did not get the first down though, 2nd and inches. This could be the last play right here. Unless they start burning their timeouts. Ray Carlton finishes 16, rushes 78 yards, does not get into the end zone. It looks like 200 total yards for the Buffalo Bills. Their offense started to pick it up in the second half. Didn't score more than, only scored 3 points, but they started picking up the yards. Tommy O'Connell able to find 2 touchdown passes, one to Carl Smith and one to Monty Crockett. Did have the interception in the end zone. Speaking of interceptions, Buffalo gets a couple. Richie McCabe, 1, and I forget who got the other one. But Buffalo gets the first victory in their career. And yes, I am so far still the only person to lose to a computer. I pick up my first win in this Sack to the Future series. The Buffalo Bills will come back home after the 17-0 shutout of the semi-pro Panthers to take on the Denver Broncos. Here's a look at the highlights. Joe Webb on the first down carry for the Panthers. Chamberlain on a deep pass over the middle. Tried to reverse to him early, didn't work. Albert DeBenion with his 1 catch. Still a couple too many drops for the Bills. O'Connell throwing the touchdown to Monty Crockett. That was the 2nd touchdown. This is the first one to Carl Smith. And Buffalo with 111 passing yards, 89 on the ground. They win the takeover battle, and Buffalo gets the win. Thank you for joining us for Sack to the Future. This is VinnyXWolf, aka Vinny Vincent, your self-proclaimed producer of the series. Hope you enjoy all of our efforts put in by Phantom Fighter, Brian Feltz, and John M. as we will continue to bring you an alternate history of the NFL 1960. Till next time, till tomorrow night, make sure you join Twisted Phoenix to see the Baltimore Colts take on the St. Louis Cardinals. Till then, I'm Vinny Vincent, and you're not.